pong muli sa pagsama sa amin dito sa ating episode ng Basta Dabawenyo. And allow me to introduce to you our guest for tonight. Mga suki na po natin dito sa programa. Una na dyan ang ating congressman mula sa 3rd District ng Davao City, Congressman Isidro Sid Ungab.
Hi, good evening. Glad to be back, Harvey. Good evening sa lahat.
Welcome back ko. Actually, hinahanap ka na ng ating mga viewers kung kailan ka ulit mag-guest. And isa ding suki ng ating programa, nagbabalik, former House Speaker, Congressman Bebot Alvarez.
Maraming salamat. Magandang gabi bayan. Mayong gabi Mindanao.
Welcome back, Kong Bebot. And Pilipinas, isa sa mga iniudulo natin, tunay na maisog, former Executive Secretary, Attorney Vic Rodriguez.
Magandang gabi, Harvey. Magandang gabi, Kong Sid. Magandang gabi, Speaker Bebot. At magandang gabi ho sa lahat ng taga-subaybay at sumusuporta sa Basta Dabawenyo.
Yan, thank you very much. Attorney Vic, welcome back. Kong Bebot and Kong Sid. No, it's a reunion na naman natin dito. And marami tayong gustong pag-usapan. But naalala ko lang, since I mentioned Maisog, actually, we just celebrated, 1 year ng Maisog natin, ano?
January 28 lang.
Correct, oo. Nagsimula ang ating panawagan ng transparency and accountability. Isang taon na. And patuloy pa din na pinag-uusapan at patuloy pa din tayong nagsasalita hinggil sa mga issue sa ating bayan ngayon. At isa na nga dito, Attorney Vic and Kong, no? Itong budget pa din natin. Patuloy pa din na pinag-uusapan ng taong bayan, lalo na po nung last January 27, I think when you filed the petition doon sa Supreme Court, Congressman Sid and Attorney Vic, to questioning the validity of the national budget. Although during the last episode, si Congressman Sid was able to give us an overview. Now, since you're here, Attorney Vic, please to remind our fellow Filipinos, why did we take such moves, sir? Bakit tayo narating ngayon sa Supreme Court?
Kagaya ng nasabi mo, Harvey, tuloy-tuloy yung ating panawagan, humihiling ng transparency and accountability. At napaliwanag na rin ito ni Kong Sid nung huli ninyong episode. At hindi lamang yung mga blankong amount na consisting of 21 line items and 13 pages ang blanko na nagiging sentro ng ating petisyon. Nandun din, wag nating kakalimutan yung issue ng pagbibigay ng zero budget sa PhilHealth because that involves a question of constitutionality. As pointed out by Congressman Sid in your last episode, I believe, malinaw kasing paglabag yun sa ating saligang batas, Kong Sid, that all money collected on taxes levied for special purpose shall be treated as a special fund and shall be used only for that specific and special purpose. I think that's Article 6, Section 29 of the Constitution. So hindi mo pwedeng bigyang zero funding ang PhilHealth dahil merong nakalaang pondo dyan. At a simple reading of the Constitution would lead anyone who understands the working of proper government with transparency and accountability. That is a clear violation of the Constitution. That's number one. Second, nabalangkas na rin ni Kong Sid yung higit na malaking budget na ibinigay sa public works over the Department of Education. Malinaw din, another constitutional issue yan, Article 14, Section 5, na nagsasabi na priority pagdating sa budget allocation yung edukasyon. At as pointed out by Kong Sid doon sa inyong huling pagbalangkas, higit na malaki yung budget ng public works. That is another ground why we instituted this action questioning the constitutionality of the 2025 budget. And of course, yung deviation din sa NEP, hindi pwedeng hijackin ng Bicameral Conference Committee yung panukalang budget ng tanggapan ng Pangulo base sa NEP. And I have to keep on mentioning the guru because he was the former chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation. Nabalangkas na rin yan. Ang mga dokumentong kalakip ng NEP ay yung President's Budget Message at yung BESF, yung Budget of Expenditures and Sources of Financing. Totally ibang-iba yung naging forma, anyo, at meaning nung naging final form ng budget. At yung pinakamalala, kaya nga ang tawag natin dito is the biggest money heist ever 6.325 trillion pesos, blanco yung 28 line items consisting of 13 pages. At mayroong nag-compute na ito'y aabot ng around 241 billion pesos. Si Speaker Bebot Alvarez ang nag-compute nun. So yan yung aming basihan why we have decided to bring the matter to the Supreme Court and to disabuse the mind of every Filipino because we respect the rule of law. Partis sa pinananawagan ng hakbang ng maisog is to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution. Kaya kami tumakbo at dumulog sa Korte Suprema sa pagkinikilala namin yung supremacy of the Constitution.
Thank you very much, Attorney Vic. I think,
Gusto ko lang
Council would like to add
i-explain further yung dapat, yung allocation under the Constitution, it's mandated na pinakamataas ibigay sa education, no? Hinabol ng Public Works, particularly DPWH. When the executive submitted the National Expenditure Program doon sa lower house, may kalakip yun na President's Message at saka Budget of Expenditure and Sources of Financing, BESF. Yung sa President's Message, sinulat niya doon yung ranking ng mga allocation. Highest allocation is the education sector, which is 977 billion, followed by the DPWH, which is 900 billion pesos. Tapos, this is taken from the BESF, page 298 of the BESF, nakasulat doon yung education sector. Yung education sector, nakasulat doon, of course, kasama ang DepEd, kasama ang CHED, kasama yung mga agencies that are education-related matters. Total of 977 billion. The same amount in the President's Message in page 13. At saka doon sa House Bill number 1080, which is the General Appropriations Bill, GAB, for the 2025 budget. Page Roman numeral number 8, cited din yung 977 billion. Tapos, pagdating sa BICAM, binawasan ang education sector ng 31 billion. BICAM result ito, Tapos, dinagdagan ang public works budget, DPWH, ng 288 billion. So, kung yung 977 binawasan ng 31 billion, naging 947 billion na lang. As compared to the DPWH budget na 900 billion, dinagdagan mo ng 288 billion. So, 1.188 trillion. So, kahit anong arithmetic pa o kahit anong mathematics, plus minus, hindi talaga ma-explain. Yung mga dinagdag nila na additional items, klaro naman yun na dinoktor. Klaro naman na you're trying to justify, to skirt the constitutional provision para lumaki yung education sector. Don't do that because you already submitted the President's Message. You already submitted the BESF. You will be changing what you have already submitted to the public. So, tingnan nyo sa DBM website. Nandyan yung President's Message, page 13. Tingnan nyo sa BESF, page 298. It's all there. Kaya, kung pwede lang, huwag nyong baguhin kasi mabibisto kayo na dinudoktor nyo talaga para lumaki yung education sector.
Thank you, Congressman Sid. I think Attorney Vic and Kong Sid and Kong Berbot, the questions, the points that you've raised, actually, it's really questioning the constitutionality of the budget. And Kong Berbot, you mentioned before that yun nga, walang base sa batas. Kasi ngayon ang question na gustong masagot ng mga tao, and I think napaliwanag naman natin from the last episode, is ano ba ang mangyayari once lumusot yung ating petisyon? Masastop ba ang takbo ng gobyerno? And recently, in an interview, the President actually responded to that question.
We shut down everything. I guess that's what they want. They want the government to cease working. So yung matuloy yung kanilang mga destabilization na ginagawa.
So, in that particular interview, the President said na pagka daw na-grant yung inyong petition, they will shut down the government. And para nga, ito ginagawa to para matuloy yung mga destabilization daw na plano. You've explained this before, Attorney Congressman Bebot. Your comment on that?
Alam mo, naawa rin ako kay Pangulo, nakikita ko, dahil apparently, talagang hindi niya alam kung ano nangyayari sa bansa. Kung pinag-aralan niya, naging congressman yan, naging senador pa yan, dapat alam niya na kung hindi halimbawa na-declare na unconstitutional itong 2025 budget, magkakaroon ng reenactment ng budget nung nakaraan taon. Yun ang mangyayari. Hindi ibig sabihin hihinto yung gobyerno na mag-shutdown yung mga ahensya. Hindi ho ganun.
Unless kung sasadyain nilang i-shutdown yung gobyerno.
Kung gusto niya, siya mismo magsa-shutdown. Baka naman gusto niya mag-step down. Nagkamali lang siguro. Hindi shutdown, step down siguro.
Thank you,
idagdag ko lang sa
Attorney Vic.
sinabi ni Speaker Bebot. Alam ho ninyo mga kababayan, yung sinasabing walang contingency plan, the framers of the 1987 Constitution already had this foresight na in case magkaroon ng impasse at magkaroon ng reenacted budget, hindi titigil ang gobyerno sa papamalakad sa ating mga Pilipino. Nakita na yan, and the solution can be found in our Constitution. Yung sinasabi ni Kong Bebot, nandiyan yan automatic reenactment of the budget. So even if any administration will have no contingency plan, our Constitution already provided for a remedy in the event mangyari yung wala namang may gusto nito when we filed it, not even Kong Sid, o yung mga kasamahan nating mga batikang abogado. Kaya lang, hindi mo naman pwedeng palagpasin itong talagang napakalaking kamalian at pagsasalaula sa ating saligang batas. Yun ang ating ginagawa. Tinutuwid natin yung mali ng mga mangbabatas na nagpasa ng isang blankong bicameral conference committee. And we were surprised, I and Kong Sid, we were discussing, pati si Kong Bebot, we were surprised really. How come it was the executive department who initially reacted and said that we are spreading false information, malicious one, and they even addressed President Rodrigo Roa Duterte as lying because wala raw blanco sa GAA. Hindi naman GAA ang sinasabi nating may blanco, kundi yung bicameral conference committee report, and that is still within the province of both houses, Senate at yung mababang kapulungan. Sila dapat ang sumagot. Kanya nga, sabi natin, once and for all, di dalhin na natin ito sa Korte Suprema. Pakita natin sa Korte Suprema talagang blanco.
Correct, Attorney Vic. Although, a few days, tama ka, Attorney Vic, it was the executive department who immediately released a statement regarding the expose, But eventually, sumagot din yung members of the Senate and Congress. Sumagot ng problema lang, nagkaiba-iba yung sagot ngayon, so nalito ang tao. And binalik nga natin doon sa usapin na what you were questioning is actually yung blank item sa bicameral report.
Claro yun.
Kasi initially, ang tinumbok nila yung GAA And recently, actually, in event sa Cebu, the President himself even made another statement na he mentioned na until now, they can't find the blank items in the GAA. Although ilang beses nang pinag-usapan at napag-uusapan ng taong bayan na yung bicameral report nga. Pero bakit ba pabalik sila ng pabalik doon sa GAA, Attorney? Tayo ba ang may kulang sa sinasabi natin or hindi ba nila naiintindihan ano yung problema?
Ako from the point of view of legality, at a lawyer, mahusay na lawyer din to si Speaker, alam ninyo, pasalamat nga kami ni Kong Sid because they're making the case a lot easier for us. The fact that they have affirmed that there is nothing blank in the GAA bolstered our position that there are blanks in the bicameral conference committee. Therefore, merong makakating kamay ang naglagay ng halaga na umaabot sa 241 billion pesos more or less na walang authority doon sa bicameral conference committee report. naging very airtight na yung kaso. Sino yun? Sino yung may makakating kamay? Kaya lagi nga nating sinasabi, babae ba siya? Lalaki ba siya? Tandem ba sila o marami sila? Yan ba yung fourth chamber o yung fourth house na tinatawag?